Hello students. My dear students, in today's lecture we are going to initiate our first chapter of 12th physics. The name of the chapter is electrostatic. Students, before we proceed, I just want to tell you a little bit about the entire curriculum of the physics of 12th class. That our entire curriculum is bifurcated in volume first and in volume second. Dear students, in volume first we will deal with the study of electromagnetism. So in volume first we have to deal with electromagnetism. Dear students, what is the electromagnetism? Students, electromagnetism is the branch of physics that deals with the study of charge. It means that our entire discussion is centered around the study of charge. So we can say it is all about the charge. Okay. This branch is also classified in two categories. One is known as the electrostatic, that we will study in our first and second chapter, and the second part is electrodynamic. As the name implies, electro means electricity and static means at rest. And what is the source of electricity? Charge. So we can say that electrostatic is the branch of physics that deals with the charge at rest. It means, my dear students, it is the branch of physics in which we will study about the stationary charge, its characteristics, its properties, okay, the forces between the static charges, okay, and the field produced by the static charge, that is known as the electric field, okay, it's about its intensity, okay, as well as the energy stored by the charges in a body, and that energy is known as the electrostatic energy. So all these things we will discuss in the electrostatic. So what is the electrostatic, my dear students? It is a branch of physics that deals with the charge at rest, their properties and the effects. So that deals with charge at rest. And what is the electrodynamics? As the name implies, electro means charge and dynamic means motion. The branch of physics that deals with charge in motion. It deals with charge in motion. And dear students, you know, when the charge is in motion, it constitutes the current. So in electrodynamics we will study about the current electricity, or we can say about the electric current. And the lower classes you have also studied that a current carrying wire produces magnetic field around it. You must have read about the Oersted experiments. So we will study about the magnetism or magnetic effect of electric current, as well as electromagnetic induction. I think you have little idea about the electromagnetic induction, Faraday law, Lenz law, etc., and alternating current AC. So these are the things which we have to study in the electrodynamics, and these are the things we will study in the electrostatics. So first I just want to write the definition of electrostatics. It is the branch of physics that deals with charge at rest, okay, forces due to the charges, okay. It is the branch of physics that deals with the study of that deals with charge at rest, forces due to the static charge, and field, okay. Or in short we can say it is the branch of physics that deals with the charge at rest, their properties and effect, okay. So it is the branch of physics that deals with the charge at rest, forces due to this static charge, and the fields produced, which is called electrostatics. Okay students, now first of all, because in electrostatic we have to deal with the charge at rest, so we must know what is the charge. What is the electric charge? Electric charge. Students, in this universe, as Einstein has told us, the theory proposed by the Einstein, we know that we we find two things around us. One is radiation and the other is matter. Okay, whatever you are seeing, wall, fan, chair, table, etc., all these things are matter, and the light which you get from the sun, that is the radiation, electromagnetic radiation. So the universe is composed of two things. One is matter and other is radiation. It's known to all of us. Dear students, in radiations, by using an external agent, we can apply the force. For an example, in solar cell. But if we talk about the matter has two characteristics by virtue of which it can apply the force. One characteristic is known as mass, and other characteristics is known as charge. Okay, the force due to this characteristics mass are well known to us. We have already discussed about it in 11th class, and that force is known as the gravitational force. Newton gave a lot of contribution to develop the expression for the gravitational force, that is F is equal to G m1 m2 upon r square. The force of attraction between two point mass is given by this expression, where G is the gravitational force constant, whose value is 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11. So students, you know very well that the matter have two characteristics. One is the mass and other is the charge. Okay, so by virtue of these characteristics, the matter can apply the force. If this force is not by these characteristics, then the force may be due to the another characteristics, that is charge, and the force due to this characteristic charge is known as electric force, that we will going to discuss in detail here. So what is the gravitational force? We have already discussed that a mass attract the another mass in a universe. This force is attractive in nature and the source of this force is mass. And the expression of this force is given by this. Now you can see here the force between two point mass is F is equal to G m1 m2 upon r square. Okay. Okay. Now if matter is able to exert the force and this force is not due to this characteristic, then it must be the another characteristic, that is charge, and the force due to this characteristic is known as the electric force. So for an example, I just want to tell you that when we take a scale and we don't rub it with the hair and take it to the bits of paper, it does not attract the bits of paper, dry leaves and other light object. But when it is rubbed properly, especially in the dry days, and taken close to the bits of paper, it acquire a property and apply a force of attraction. Obviously, before rubbing, the scale was having the mass and the bits of paper were also having the mass. But at this condition, we saw that gravitational force is, I think, not so much strong enough to exert the force. Okay, but when we rubbed it, it acquired a property, or we can say capacity, by virtue of which it is able to exert the force, and we observe that very fastly the bits of paper get clinged with the scale. How it is possible? The answer is that this force could not be due to the mass. This force should be the another characteristics that this object has acquired after rubbing, and that characteristic is known as the charge, because we have already discussed that a matter can apply the force with two characteristics, that either it can be mass or charge. In case when it is not the mass, then it should be charge. So what is the charge? Charge is the another characteristic except the mass that is developed on the body and it can apply force on the particle. Here in the case of a scale, it is this property was developed by rubbing, by friction. So what is the charge? Charge is the characteristics developed on a particle due to which it can apply force on the other particle. Okay, So you know very well that matter has two characteristics by virtue of which it can apply the force. One is mass, other is charge. In case when it is not mass, the force must be due to which characteristics? Charge. And that force due to this charge characteristics is known as the electric force, and the force due to this mass characteristic is known as the gravitational force. So what is the charge? I just want to share a little story behind it. The scientist who firstly discovered about the electrostatic, his name was Thales. We address him Thales of Miletus. Miletus. Students, Miletus is the name of place of the ancient time, and Thales was a Greek philosopher who was sitting just like that near by the bank of a river or sea. That sea is, I think, Baltic Sea. And coincidentally, he found a substance called umber. What is umber? Dear students, umber is a fossilized tree resin. What is the fossilized tree resin? What happens to students? I just make it more clear, just so that you can easily grasp it. That there is a substance that really originates from the tree trunk. Okay, there are some special trees are there. They originate a gummy, sticky substance. When the hurricanes, or we can say cyclones, and uh, earthquake takes place, the trees are trees get buried out, okay, due to this disaster situation, and after thousands of years they are continuously subjected to lot of pressure and temperature, and that gummy substance, that sticky substance, take a form of crystal. After thousands of years it become a mineral. That mineral is yellowish in color and used in making jewelry, especially in European countries. As you can see the emerald in my ring, just like that, umber is a mineral. The people of Northern America or various part of the world use the umber to make this jewelry, okay, in the pendants. Now, so what is the umber? Umber is a fossilized tree resin. He saw that substance and took it, and he rubbed with it with a wool and silk. He observed that now it has acquired a miraculous property, that it attracts a bits of paper, straw, dust particles, and so many light objects. This was not experienced before. The umber was not rubbed with particular material. That's why these all the things caused him to think that umber is charged. He said umber is charged or electrified, because before rubbing, umber was no longer able to exert the force, but when it was rubbed with suitable material like wool, silk, etc., it has acquired an additional property by virtue of which it can apply the force on the other particle. So he said that umber has charged. Here charged means it has acquired a we can say capacity, a power. So umber is charged or electrified. He first said that umber is charged or electrified. Okay. In Greek language, umber is called electron. In Greek language, umber is called electron. So he said that electron has charge. It means umber has charge. So the word originate electric charge. Okay. So umber has got electric charge. It means that there was an additional property. There was an additional property developed on the umber, due to which it can apply force on the other particle. Because initially umber was having the mass, that substance to whom it is attracting also having the mass, but before rubbing they no longer attract each other. But after rubbing, what happens that they instantly they attract each other, sorry. So how this thing took place? The thing is that because number has acquired a property, that is the electric charge. Okay, and we have discussed before a while that matter have two characteristics by virtue which it can apply force on the other particles. So now I'm going to write the definition of the electric charge. What is the electric charge? Electric charge, it is the characteristics developed on a particle. It is the characteristic developed on a particle due to which it can apply force on other particles. So students, charge is that characteristics. At that time we know that there are two types of charge, positive and negative. Okay, and electron is response over the charging. The body which have deficiency of electron as compared to proton, the body is said to be positive charge, and the body which have excess of electron as compared to what to say protons, then the body is said to be negatively charged. So here we are not discussing the electron theory because we are talking about that time when there was no electron theory. So at that time, what is the electric charge? It is the characteristic developed on a particle due to which it can apply on the force on the other particle. We may write the another definitions of electric charge here. It is the property, it is the intrinsic property. It is the intrinsic property associated with matter. It is the intrinsic property associated with matter. Sorry, just a minute. Associated with matter. It is the intrinsic property associated with matter due to which, okay, it's also not working, due to which it produce and experience electric and magnetic effects. Okay, so whatever electric and magnetic effect is produced and experienced by, this is all due to the intrinsic property of a matter, and that is the electric charge. So keep in mind, what is the electric charge? It is the characteristics developed on a particle due to which it can apply force on the other particle, or we can say it is the intrinsic property because we know that electrons and protons and neutrons are elementary particles, and every matter is made of atoms, and in each and every atom there are proton, electron and neutron. There are already charged particles. Okay, so every body do contain charges, but when the charges are in balance, the body is neutral. But when there is imbalance of charges, the body gets charged, but body do contain the charges. So that's why it is intrinsic property of the matter. So these are the definitions that we have discussed today. Hopefully it is very much clear to you. In next class we will move further. Okay, so this is all about the charge and the electrostatic.